What's up, guys? Today we're going to do a new video. Today we're going to solve this problem called 1480 running sum of 1D array. It is an easy problem LeetCode, and I'm doing this in my mansion. Alright, so let's get started. So when I like to do these types of problems, I like to go through my solving process. So first off, I like to explore the problem, meaning that I like to read over the problem, get the input and output before I do anything. Then ask some questions that I may have for the interviewer. And then, oh, I like that song. And then, once I got input and output and I asked some questions, then I like to go through some examples to make sure that I do actually understand the problem so I can solve it correctly. And then after that, I like to go over some approaches I can do to solve the problem and pick the best one or the one that I can do. And then once I find the correct approach, I'm going to plan that approach with some pseudocode, and then I'm going to implement the plan, and then I'm going to review my implementation, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's go explore. So given an array of nums, we define a running sum of an array. We define a running sum of an array as running sum at I is equal to the sum of sums at 0 through I guess. So we're supposed to return the running sum of nums. So okay, so we know that for sure our input is an array of nums. Array of nums, basically integers. An array of integers. And it's named nums. And then for output, we want to get running sum of nums. Right at running sum at I. Right. So it makes sense. Like we just keep adding the sum at every index value. So that makes sense. So I don't have any questions. So I guess I should just go over some approaches. No, I'll go over some examples first. So let's just say, for example 1, you have an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then for output, at the first index, at index 0 should be just 1 still. Then at index 1 should be 1 plus 2, so that's 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3. And then from there, we can just do 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 5, right? No, it's 6. and then we continue. So 10 and then 15. So yeah, I think this example is pretty clear what we should do. So I'm just gonna go over some approaches we can do. So approaches. So one thing that we can do is we can just go through a for loop. Maybe it can be like, it's gonna be an n squared runtime, n squared for loop, where we basically so we can go through each number, then then add previous numbers up to that number. Or we can do just the O of n for loop, where I can basically get value at current and add with previous, I guess. From there, I think we need to have like static variable. Is it static or constant? I forgot. I think it's static variable. Or we hold the sum that we have right now, right? And then I think I'm gonna do that one, so I'm gonna start it. And And then from there, yeah, so we found the right approach to do, so let's go ahead and just plan this out, right? So first off, if this was an actual interview, I would need to have a driver code. So I need to get my own input, so get user input. It's pretty easy. Then from there, I want to go through this for loop that actually solves the problem, so for loop. But before that, I want to initialize a variable called like sum, I guess. Sum equals to 0. Sum equals to 0, right? And then from there, I want this for loop. So for I in range, so I can say for I in range, starting from 0 all the way to the length of the ring. What I can do is I can basically I'm thinking about doing this in place, which means I'm going to use the same array that I'm given. So I can say that the sum is equal to nums at I, right? And then from there I can say nums at I is equal to sum. Right? It makes sense, right? And then from there I think I'm just going to return nums. Right? That makes sense. So if we go through an example, let's say this is our example, right? We go through 1, so 0 would be the sum currently, and then once we're at 1, we're going to add that to the sum, so sum is equal to 1, and now nums at I, which is at 1, is equal to 1, so that's correct. And then from there, once we're at 2, right, we're going to add 2 to the sum, so 1 plus 2, that's 3. The nums at I, which is at 2, is going to equal to the sum, which is 3. And it's going to keep on going, basically. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just implement this. So I'm just going to copy paste this. For I in range, I'll go to the length of nums. I'm going to basically... Oh yeah, I have to initialize... I'm going to initialize sum equal to 0. And then from there I'm going to at every iteration, I'm going to add the value at I, and then to make it so that we're going through the running sum, I'm going to say that nums at I, since we just added it to the sum, is going to be equal to sum. Right, it makes sense. And from there we can just return nums. Then I think this should work. It does work, so 8 millisecond runtime. It's pretty good. Let's go and submit it. And boom, success. It's really slow though. Not sure why. It's fine. Then, yeah, that's pretty much it. So to review, which is my last step, go back to the... So to review for the runtime, it's O of n because we're going through each element once, plus u. In the array, and then for space, for extra space we're using O of 1 because we're using in place array to solve this problem. We're not creating a different array. So extra space O of 1, but technically it's O of n because we're using array. But extra space O of 1, we're using sum. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, that's it.